Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to day 2 of the Wargaming.net League EU Season 4 Finals. We are well and truly getting to the pointy end of things, guys, and some fantastic games already we have seen today. You guys know the drill. Let's jump into it. Let's have a look at the bracket. And you can see, obviously, now that we are looking, so staring down the barrel of our game for 3rd and 4th place. It's going to be CPlay going up against Evil Panda Squad. Evil Panda Squad's only 2nd opportunity really to play on the stage, trying to shake away those nerves and take that 3rd place away. And, of course, after that, we will be going over towards our very much anticipated grand final between Virtus Pro and School Bus. But now, for a little bit of an insight on this map, let's get Dorjan and the boys to put this one under the microscope.
Thank you very much, Mitch. Now, we do have a lot to talk about here, because as we pointed out, we started getting into it before the break. These teams are so similar, and at the same time, polar opposite. They seem to have a lot of aggression and a lot of defensive. But, as Wilkie, you pointed out, it looks like CPlay have learned their lesson not be aggressive at the wrong times. They've calmed down against TCM. They proved that they can wait if they need to.
I want to believe they have learned their lessons from yesterday and that they can take out EPS. At least they have earned their place to try and get the 3rd place in this tournament, the Ferns. And yeah, as we see...
That aggressive bar was based on the online. That should be doubled right now.
Yeah, now it should be doubled. Like I said, what they did against Virtus Pro, it was just awesome from the book of Uli. Just exceptional.
Absolutely exceptional play. These guys are doing really, really good. Carmen, what can you say about core play?
I just can say that core play is really getting higher and higher, you know, during the offline, this offline. I mean, it's like you hear from some other esport games and also from normal sports that there are teams that can be bad at league, the first phase, but then when it's coming closer and closer and closer, they're getting better and better. This is what I see in CPlay. They stop to make mistakes, they stop to fear of the enemy, and also have really high chance now to take pandas.
Yeah, definitely. They do stand a chance. If anyone's going to do it, it will be them. Schnitzel, what can you say?
Again, I have to read CPlay. They got destroyed in the first match by Kazna. Then they come back. They kick TCM out of the game. They kick Kazna out of the game. They nearly managed to beat Virtus Pro. And now they have Evil Panda Squad for them. A team which is just wanting to stand back, letting the opponent decide the game. And that's really good for them.
Well, we cannot talk about CPlay without talking about the MVP powered by Razor, Ruster. The guy on the front line, the guy who is doing all the shots, calling all the shots and making the plays. Absolutely fantastic guy, totally proven himself why he is on the list for MVP. What can you say? What more can we say about him?
Actually, before the Virtus Pro game, I said that usually when you lead from the front, there is a high chance at some point you do some mistakes. And in the Virtus Pro games, there we saw couple of those sloppy mistakes. So I think he needs to get everything back together and start being the boss in the team once again.
Yeah, I agree. I think that there was a little bit of a few misplays and stuff like that. But I think this is where we see the limits of their ability right now. As a newish team, the players are less veteran, let's say, compared to a lot of the other teams. This is their skill ceiling for now. Their limitless ability to innovate. That's awesome, and they're still doing better, but their actual individual skills starting to be their downfall, to be their limit. If they had just a little bit more accuracy and a little bit better team play, just a tiny bit more, they could have taken down Virtus Pro. I was talking to Diver on one of our breaks, and I said to him, like, I think you were laughing about them before the game, and now they've earned a little bit of respect from Virtus Pro.
Not a little bit of respect. Really, Diver was yesterday telling that Kazna should be here, or maybe TCM, so the both teams which are here playing for the 3rd place shouldn't be here. We will find out soon who is better, but CPlay really, I think, deserve this 3rd place. Evil Panda showed, for me, even if, I'm by heart by them, they really played bad this game. I cannot say it was a good game, and I just hope they will, overgo it, but I don't know if it's right.
Yeah, exactly. The Evil Pandas are guys who had a lot on their shoulder, really, because they skipped the first day. No one have seen them play, and yet they came into it and aren't able to do it. Now, it looks like we definitely got their statistics right from the online play. Now I'm thinking, how did they get to second place if they are so weak? So clearly they're not as weak as they looked in the first game. Definitely the hardware issue, the light issue, the fact that they rushed, put themselves in a bad position. This is the flaws. This is the problems that they've got, and they've got to get around it.
To be fair, though, like last season, they were also in the offlines, they were aggressive. In the onlines, they were defensive. They wanted to surprise the enemy again. School Bus, but School Bus was prepared this time. So that's why this strategy won't work again.
And it's not going to work with CPlay?
I don't think so.
So we have CPlay going against Evil Pandas. Evil Pandas, again, defensive. They're very set in their ways, but they do have a trick up their sleeve, and that's their MVP, powered by Razer new multi-show. We didn't really get to see much of him in the last games. Like, Wilkie, what can you say that he needs to do to step up the game and make EPS succeed here?
I think he should trust more on his teammates. He's one of those guys that really makes the team play for himself and around him. So their guys are securing him, like covering him his positions, and making it possible that the new multi-cell deals the highest damage of the battle. But if he could share a bit of that responsibility with his teammates, I think they would be making better progress at the moment.
Yeah, I think so, that he needs to believe in his teammates, but it can be hard after these games.
But here we have both MVP powered by Razer guys. Ruster on the right for core play, and on the left, new multi-show. Both these guys are the tactical genius behind the teams. So we'll see now as they go head-to-head in the picking phase. Some argue this is the most important part of a best of 5.
Prohorovka banned by Ruster, like we said, he doesn't want to play it.
He really doesn't. And I don't think any team wants to play Prokorovka, actually. But Cliff is banned by Evil Pandas. They do not want to face them on there. So, okay, what's the soft ban? What's the 5th map going to be? Steps, Mines, Insk, Rurenburg, or Himmelsdorf? What do you think, Russ? What do you think?
I think the Insk will be again in the 5th map. Steps might be up front.
Yeah, because it's picked by CPlay.
Yeah. Insk is the 5th map.
Ruster is scared of EPS on Ensk.
Well,
that's why he did it.
He's moved us to 5th place. It's very hard to see the 5th map. Himmelsdorf coming on the 4th place. That's
so
an interesting.
So EPS is not afraid of Himmelsdorf from the guys. Ruinberg probably will be camped, so we have the Mines and Steps deciding. Steps also Pandas didn't look at that good during the season on the Steps, if I'm right.
Yeah, Steps is the 2nd map, which means the 1st map will be Ruinberg. I believe I saw, if I read the lips correctly.
Yeah, you're trying to do it.
Maybe
you have a chance. Maybe. Let's find out.
But that also means 2 defensive maps
yeah,
at the start.
There you go. So Ruinberg is the 1st one. It is confirmed. And Steps is the 2nd map. Now, Ruinberg, EPS's advantage.
Already Schnitzel told.
I'm actually thinking that this is really good for CPlay, because now, in the first match, they know they don't need to attack, because they might just want to play the Ruinberg out of the way and start playing in the 2nd map, Mines. So I think this is even better for CPlay.
Yeah, I think, also they can, because it's a defensive map, they can also sit down defensive there. So maybe it's good to their mood. They will not attack there and be, suicidal attack, which will cost them the play game.
There is still one problem. We are talking about CPlay. They like those attacks.
So
yeah,
maybe,
but not on the map.
But
maybe, but they have been controlling that. They have been controlling their situations where they make sure they are in the advantage. They do not want to go down a map against EPS. Although, looking at their plays against Virtus Pro, I don't think they're that worried about campers. Really, I don't think they are.
But yeah, in CPlay there are also other guys taking the lead. Like if Ruster wants to attack, but the team feels like, okay, maybe against EPS we shouldn't attack at Ruinberg. There is Dakil Sir, there are Treves, there are Dr. Tour, who can say that, no, we don't want to attack on this map, let's just wait it out, start playing on the next map.
Yep. I cannot predict this one. I'm thinking really hard of what my prediction will be for this one, but everyone at home is saying 62% for the Pandas so far and 38% for CPlay. So the faith is still in the Pandas for this map. Now, talking for myself, is it going to get to Sam River? Is it not? I really feel it's going to be a close score, whether CPlay's attacks fail occasionally or they decide to let the draws happen. I really am conflicted. I don't know what they're going to do. They've been full of surprises so far. I cannot say one way or another, but they're definitely going to do it or not. I kind of want to talk about your predictions already, but we're going to wait till after the game.
Still lose from the guys from EPS will mean a big failure for them. Already place 4 for the CPlay will be meaning a lot for them.
Yeah.
So CPlay doesn't have anything to lose. What they have to lose, it's just the guys from Evil Panda squad.
They made it really far in this tournament, and the EPS just came here today, and they're losing every match up until now.
Well, they've only had one, so as you said, it's hard to quantify. And I'm assuming they have been training a lot since over the last days. They must have been training. They couldn't just be sitting in their hotel rooms waiting.
But we must remember, EPS has so many new players, and this is new event for them, first time in offline event, and they didn't play in the first day. So it must be really stressful to come and start playing the second day when the bets are so high.
We will surely find out very soon what will happen. Maybe this way, but for sure it will be an intense match.
Indeed. So, next map will be the Evil Pandas versus CPlay, coming up very, very shortly. I'm actually interested to see if we've still got a mostly Polish and Central European audience. So where are you from in the Twitch chat? Let us know. I think we are mostly Central European viewers right now, but maybe the Americans have recovered from their shocking result last night in their Season 4 finale at PAX. And maybe we have some viewers over in Asia, late evening viewership for them. So say hello and tell us where you're from in the chat. Right, guys, last time to make a prediction. EPS or core play from you guys?
Definitely CPlay.
First map, draw, then CPlay, takes 2.
And for you, Carmen?
I will not tell it to people, really.
Okay, fair enough. So, it's time to get into the battle. We have the Evil Pandas versus core play. Over to our casters.
Thank you, guys. It is going to be a great matchup coming. I'm not too sure where my predictions are actually going on this one. I've got to say it that on paper there's a clear winner, but then this event's kind of thrown that off, and CPlay have played pretty phenomenally. I think I've got to support them in this one. Where are you sitting on the fence?
I'm 100% with you. I'm right next to you on that fence because Evil Panda squad, yes, they've only played one match, but that one match gave us a real indication that new multi-show is not on point. And if CPlay lock him down like Schoolbus did, it's going to be a fairly one-sided game, in my opinion. That being said, Schoolbus is definitely a better team than CPlay. They knew probably more about the weaknesses than CPlay against Evil Panda squad, so I think it's going to be a lot more of a close match. In my opinion, I think it's going to be a very slow match. I think we're possibly going to see San River. And altogether, you know,
I'd love that as
if we do see San River, I think it's going to go CPlay's way as well. So it's not a good time for the Polish Evil Panda squad right now.
So in the north in red it will be CPlay, and in the south in blue it's going to be Evil Panda squad. Guys in chat, let us know who you are supporting. The votes so far still sit in favour to EPS, but maybe you've got another thing in mind now. You've got all the facts behind it. Let us know who you think is going to walk away with that victory. Obviously on Twitter as well, using that hashtag WGLEU. And thank you very much to Devil for the fantastic observing so far. We do appreciate it very much. So into the first game. Looking at the tank lineups, what are we expecting here from these two?
It's triple AMX 5100, IS3, AMX 3090. It's a very heavy, a lot of firepower lineup from CPlay, and for Evil Panda squad, just Penta AMX 3090, double tier 1, so a lot of speed. Now this is really good for Evil Panda squad because they kind of can get themselves into positions on the map a lot quicker. We've never seen this before either. We always see like a 5100 in there if we see like a long, heavy AMX 3090 lineup. So they've got the village. That's obviously where CPlay wanted to go, of course, from the north. You know, you've got to clear a passage towards the village so you can get there. Evil Panda squad like knew that, and they countered it perfectly with the lineup they did. So right now EPS have better positions, but when it does come down to that firing squad of CPlay, they might just get outmatched in terms of the damage and the firepower and the HP.
Well, there's a lot of things up for question right now. I do want to tune in very early on with the CPlay boys, see how they're feeling, see those tactics coming about. They're playing passive. Let's hear that discussion on TeamSpeak. Let's tune in and see what's going down on their side of things. They are on the red side, bearing in mind. And Hanky on your screen right now. Normally it's Trevor's the vocal one. All quiet so far. Obviously playing slowly, they can't be calling out too much. Oh, very quiet on the CPlay side. Clearly just keeping their patience, being cautious. And this is a little bit of a strange sight to me. We're seeing EPS being slightly more aggressive and CPlay being defensive.
Well, they didn't have any choice, really. CPlay is now really locked into the position they're at. Nervex, Dekilza, they're too slow and they're too big to get in towards the city. So what CPlay should have done is gone for the city immediately and really just push through there. Now, they have to play defensive. They have to try and get them through to the next map, which is, of course, going to be a little bit tricky. As you can see, the kills are already receiving one shot. Doesn't help CPlay's cause at all. Next map's going to be Steps as well. So it's going to be a very interesting matchup. Mines is obviously clearly the one map which we could see a result on. Steps, Rurenberg, a little hard, especially if Evil Panda Squad do what they like to do on Steps, which is pick 5 heavy tanks and sit back, especially with the T-32s. So if anything does happen, it's going to come from EPS, and when it does, they have to get it absolutely on point. You know, like we saw CPlay against Virtus Pro, when you have this a lot of MX-3090s, when you push, you need to do it perfectly. Otherwise, you just won't have the damage to go through. But at the end of the day, EPS still are an extraordinary team. Bad first result, for sure. But when they do push, I think it's going to have to come from the right side. They have to get their execution right. They have to find the Killzor and Nervax first. And really the trick for them is to get as far, as close to CPlay as possible without actually getting spotted. You know, you can really pincer them in. You can spring a trap. Also, the cap could be an option. Polsved just kind of moving forwards towards the cap as well. Obviously, the pressure could come on from there. And really, Polsved is really an important tank. And I think, you know, the worst thing for EPS right now would be to lose those tier 1s.
Oh, we're watching Polsved at the moment. One of the tier 1 players. Eclipse not too far away either. And CPlay looking like they'll take this one pretty slow, pretty calmly. And you can't really blame them. They come off a very high point, but you don't want to give that any weakness away too early on. Let's bear in mind, Steps would be the next map. We've expected a passive game. We expected a cautious game. And this actually might work out well for Evil Panda Squad. Gives them a little time to get a little bit more comfortable, get a little bit more warmed up. And it actually could help them. We were discussing after the first match we saw from them, they could have probably really done with that first day to get into these, but didn't quite get there in the end. Haven't quite had that the time to get equipped to the stage and get used to it. Even CPlay, I was talking to them prior to this game kicking off. Even they said, you know, the lights here, the studio, I think it was only Treves and Dr. Tour have played on a stage really similar to this to quite an extent, where the others are still fairly new to it. They don't quite have that complete experience. So it's something you've got to keep in mind. Both teams in their own way are still quite new to it. CPlay as a whole team haven't got the experience on stages. They haven't got the offline event jitters out of the way. They are still having to fight through that and having some great results off the back. And EPS just need time. They just need to get that comfortable feeling. And the man on your screen right now, Numolcho, is definitely one of the players that has to do so. He has to be there for this. And at the moment, we're seeing just the blind shots coming out, trying to get any connections early on. We already saw Dekilzor soaking up some of that damage earlier, but 4 minutes left. Is there a chance for a 2-minute push on this, or is this going to be a full-on hold?
I don't see why there wouldn't be a chance. EPS have really nothing to lose, and with the lineup they have, it could actually possibly work. They got enough firepower there. It really depends on, you know, really what the execution's like. So yeah, 2-minute mark is going to be very effective for them. But they can also push earlier on because, you know, the tier 1 positions. But again, you know, EPS have to use those tier 1s to scout. So if they do push, they have to make sure they don't die because they need the tier 1s to go forwards. They can't have them in K1, you know, K0, hiding away in case they do fail miserably, which is a really, really awkward situation, an annoying situation to be in as a team. So they have to do this kind of all-in or nothing strategy.
Let's see if they've got the guts to go for it. It'll take a lot. Let's bear in mind the pressure on this. The difference between 3rd and 4th, prize money is huge, but still, it's the prestige as well. EPS getting through to the second day and going out in 2 games and finishing in 4th would be an absolute disaster for them. But we're going to have to wait and see if they can actually pull anything out of that. And let's find out what they've got going on. It's still 3 minutes. We're not seeing a great deal. Eclipse has gone down, but that's about it.
Yeah, some shots coming out. Dead Zone receiving a couple, as you said. But 500 HP. CPlay in an awkward situation, and Evil Panda Squad are doing it really perfectly. They're trying to get as many shots onto CPlay as possible, work down the HP. Then when they've got a nice bit of HP in their favor, they can push in, they can try something, and they can work perfectly in that situation. But it's still going to be tricky when they do push, because the overmatch of the HP just on the basis of CPlay's lineup. You know, the 5100, 1.4K, the MX 3090, 1.1K, so 300 already. Still puts CPlay a little bit ahead in HP, so perfect situation for them. But, you know, the Dead Zone receiving 500 is never a good thing. So, but bit of back and forth, 2 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. EPS haven't been effective aggressively, but now Lucas CSD is going to try and stop that.
Well, Dead Zone has been called out to some extent. He did pick up the initial kill onto Eclipse, but going down to 4-7-3 already. Not exactly how they'd want to start this one out. Well, not even start it out, but close out, should I say, with that 2 minute and 18 marker left. A little bit of a weak link in the chain now forming. He needs to be careful. He does have the support of Dekilzor and Nervax not too far away, but you still need to be careful. Numolcho is within range as well. He can land some shells, but at the moment, we're still waiting to see who's going to maybe make that move. I don't think we've seen too much. Another little bit of damage coming through, but the Dead Zone is definitely sitting in very patient now, very cautiously, and he needs to, because this is allowing a little bit of a move coming out from EPS.
Yeah, they're going to have to push. They've got 1 minute and 50 seconds left. They know that CPlay is kind of stuck in one corner. They know they have a lot of HP advantage, so they're going to go for it.
Well, let's see if they can pull this one off. They know where the Dead Zone is to an extent. Let's see if they can really exploit that. You can see the move coming in, the 1390s, just getting ready to crest over that slight ridge, but Yankees already takes one from Hacky, I believe. They're getting one up on the cross. Nervax comes over to support the Dead Zone, but he's just going to make himself look a little bit vulnerable, but still no full execution from EPS. They're seeming to not want to push this. Finally, they're mustering over Raging Potato, Lucas, and there's Cosme all ready to rumble. Nervax is going to be the first on the line. He's going to connect 2 towards Raging Potato when only receiving 1, but the Dead Zone is low. Yankees has slipped through, going to get him down, surely, but actually, no, Yankees could go down here, and he does. The Dead Zone just thwarts off the attack, and look at this. It's falling to pieces again for EPS. If they don't land these shells, a minute left, this could be turned. Pulsefed has hidden away, so maybe they won't lose it, but certainly not going the way they want in the main battle here, as the Dead Zone will be found by Raging Potato, so maybe turning it through, but still, and there's Cosme on reload. Dekilzor looking hungry, looking ready to move in. He's going to be found by Raging Potato, gets one on the way through. If Dekilzor lands, this is disastrous for Hacky and Ruster waiting to get in the action. This didn't go very well for EPS considering.
It really went badly, and it was actually their fault. They could have done something if they executed perfectly, but this really does suggest to me that EPS are, first of all, demoralized, and second of all, just full stop bad right now. That was
Wait, could
just a really, really bad play. He could be found, actually. Polsved down into K1. That's why it took so long for Evil Panda Squad to execute. Because of that, Cap's on the way. 10 seconds left on the clock. Just about misses. They've still got 2 to find and 10 seconds to do it.
Yeah, I think that's Cosme's the one who's going to keep them safe, if anything. Dekilzor won't be able to land the shot. 3 seconds left. Surely not going to happen. There's Cosme and Polsved staying alive just. And there we have it. Draw on the first map. Very close, though, and EPS not looking any better, really. Still looking shaky. It looked like they went for that aggressive move straight away. Well, not straight away, but they went for the aggressive move eventually. But then just didn't push over. Was that a lack of communication, do you feel, or just nerves, maybe?
I don't know why they didn't just push straight into the Dead Zone. There was no reason for doing it. Hacky took about 400 damage for not pushing in straight away. And when they pushed in, they went he went 1 versus 1 against an AMX 5100, which is bad because the 5100 does a 68 average damage more. So he completely destroyed them. The Dead Zone then took out the next target that came around the corner. A little bit lucky on the damage roll there, but altogether, you know, just bad execution. You always have to commit 2 tanks onto an AMX 5100 because of that damage overmatch. So, you know, EPS just looking overall terrible. Although I don't think it would have made a massive amount of difference. They should have been quicker to the fight. They should have been more refined in the fight. And then finally, you know, New Multi Show had to be with them in that fight. There's no point putting a resource down towards the south, towards the cap, when the rest of his team's up north. And that's New Multi Show just being selfish, in my opinion. But CPlay, hanging on.
Yeah.
Could have possibly won it as well if they had a little bit more time, but it's Evil Panda Squad timing things correctly.
Yeah, questionable choices. There's a lot of nerves on the line here as well. They've got to be a little bit careful. They need to be very cautious now, CPlay. They've got to play smart in this. They've got to hold their nerve. A young team against a fairly veteran lineup to an extent. There's experienced players certainly doing the job to an extent, but it's all going to be questionable in this one. But still, let's see what they've got going on.
Yep. Questionable choices for sure. You can see, CPlay look quite confident as the kills are with a pink hat on your left. They look like they are still hungry for a victory. As you said, a lot of disparity between the prize money for third and fourth place. And, making it to the second day, fourth place is always a good thing. But the thing is, winning in the second day is a big deal. Third place is a big deal. It shows that you're a team that can compete with the top 4. And that's really what you want. Yeah, top 6 is great, but that means you're just in the top 50%. Top 4 is a hell of a lot more, and it's what CPlay wants to do. They want to prove that they're, as a new team, they're a force to be reckoned with, and once they have that kind of done, they can actually move on as a team. They can improve, they can stick together, they won't have any morale problems, they won't have any roster problems. They know that this is a formula that works, and they want to run with it.
Yeah, it's certainly a big factor into this. So guys at home, once again, I ask you, make sure you let us know your favorites in this. It seems like the home crowd still favors EPS. If I'm not mistaken, the initial votes were definitely in their favor, but we'll have to see if that really continues, because the more these draws get dragged out and the more it kind of goes a little downhill, I think maybe people might start changing their minds. And I think I've got to say, at the start of this, I said that a lot of people may have been slightly not disappointed in the results by the fact that TCM and Kazna went out to CPlay, but I think that now CPlay must be building their own kind of fan base here, because they're certainly a new team overall, but they have played with so much heart to this point. You cannot doubt that for 1 second. They have been playing out of their skins in this. And for me, you always want an underdog story to go well. You always want them to kind of have that moment where they can really defeat the Giants, and they're so close to doing it. To finish in third place is absolutely phenomenal. And it's the danger of an underdog team. It's the danger that comes with this. So guys, keep that in mind, and make sure you support these guys. They're still a young team. They've come into this, and they have fought bravely and damn well. They've not played the slow, campy game like some teams have to this point. They have always fought genuinely with a lot of heart. So there's still 63% of you favoring EPS, and CPlay, I think they're building their audience, and I hope that keeps going, because we are going to get ready to go into our second map here. Steps coming up. Gonna have to see what they bring out. It's quite a slow map. It can be done. It can be quite taxing on the team. They have to be playing smart, very disciplined on this. And who do you think's got the slight edge now?
I've never seen EPS actually be aggressive on this map. They've won before once because they basically were camping, and then they had the other team push onto them. They won that engagement easily, and then they could push into the cap, and they could win like that. So I'm not sure if EPS really has anything on this map to go forwards with, whereas CPlay, they have won it before. They won it yesterday, so they have a little bit of confidence there, of course, but we want to see at least one good game from EPS. The lineups do suggest that CPlay maybe don't want to be all too aggressive. You've got the T32 and the triple T69, the Waffentrager, the Waffle Tiger, as many likes to call it. He's actually going to be picking the smaller gun. That's his 490 average damage instead of obviously the bigger gun, which has a lot higher. It's 850. But yeah, in my opinion, it's a better choice because of the reload. The aim downtime's better as well. And to be honest, the 12.8 is pretty good anyway. I mean, it does 490 average damage, rate of fire 5 rounds a minute, pretty damn good as well. And really the 15 centimeters a little bit unreliable, I say. And I think 750 is not worth the effort for that.
So where are we going to see that really utilized? Where's its positioning on this map? Is there like a singular function they have for this? Because they said they were planning a lot of interesting tactics when they came into this against Virtus Pro, for example. Do you think maybe this is one of them they maybe had in mind?
Yeah, I think they've basically innovated a little bit. They want to have that tank and that gun specifically back just to do as many shots as it can. You don't put it into a battle because it's, first of all, a tin can. It's very weak. Its turret turns slowly. You can get evenly outmaneuvered. A T1 can penetrate it easily. A lot of things. So you want to keep it back. You want to snipe out Evil Panda Squad as quickly as possible. It's pretty slow as well. but when it does start landing those shells, you start taking 500 HP off an AMX 3090, pretty bad. EPS doing the standard camp, they have got 2 AMX 3090s, which is 2 more than what they usually have. They usually 2 T32s, but still with the 3 T32s there, they limit their options in terms of pushing abilities, unless they actually do decide to go for a cap, for instance.
So, as you said, some strengths, some weaknesses. This guys at home, let us know your thoughts on this as well. Using that hashtag WGLEU. What are your thoughts on this tank selection? Is it something you want to see more of? Is it something you like that you think might have its position here? Because we are seeing it trying to maybe find that position, and we know that these guys like exploring these maps and all the possible options. The man Ruster himself is a champion of this. He knows the terrain better than most.
Wow, I've never seen that before.
No, indeed. He does it towards the northeast side as well, where we're seeing currently EPS are. He has his own little spots there. But it looks like he's found something down towards the southwest as well. So he really does like doing this. We've seen it on mines before as well. He likes using the terrain to his own taste. So a little bit of a new position. Interesting to see that one.
Yeah, never seen it. Obviously, you can boost yourself up into a lot of interesting places in this game, but that's an interesting one. That's going to give him the perfect sniping place ever. You can shoot the guys trying to cap. You can shoot them as they try and flank. You can shoot them as they come up from the trench. It's absolutely perfect. He's got great view range on that thing. And of course, you know, if he's the only tank alive, they're not going to be able to chase him, not be able to get up there in time. And he can decap. As long as he's got, you know, coated optics and possibly bino telescopes for the 10 and the 25% view range increase, he could spot like literally the whole map. He could hard cap that view range very, very easily. But EPS looking a little bit more aggressive now. New Multitude is going to peek over. Probably not going to go for a cap right now because of the tier 1 up in G3, G4. Hasn't spotted anything. So they kind of know, okay, CPlay must be between E and K7, I guess. So.
It's like a mountain goat.
Yeah, he is a mountain goat.
How the hell did he do
you know
that?
Waffles can climb mountains?
I do now. Waffle tigers.
He's a mountain tiger now.
Yeah, indeed. It's all changed. But it's brilliant to see innovation even on maps like this, something that's played out so much. And there's a reason that we've been picking him as one of our Razor MVPs, is because he can genuinely adapt so much on this. And it looks like EPS are going to go on the rotate, though, around the north towards the west side. This could cause an issue, actually. It could maybe catch him out there. I'm not sure if it's got quite the gun depression to do anything if it's underneath him on that, but not sure where Yankees and as Cosme, Rage Tate and Poswed intend to take themselves on this. Looking to maybe get into the faces of CPlay, because currently we're tied at 1-1, and if this does go for 3 maps, if you are wondering, we will be moving on to Sand River as a decider, pretty much with the attack and defense style on Assault. The game mode there, you may be more familiar with that. So I don't think EPS really want that in any way, shape or form. It'll force them to play a game style that they're not really all that accustomed to. They didn't walk away with much of an advantage either from the first map damage-wise, so they wouldn't get to pick the side that they'd probably want here. So interesting to see how this one pans out. They're looking to do probably a bit of damage maybe to get it back in their favor more than anything at this point.
Yeah, they're trying to hit a few shots and maybe get themselves some advantage in terms of damage, as you said. You know, one thing I want to point out, last time these two fought against, it was a 3-0 victory for EPS. Yeah. But the more important figure is the fact that CPlay hadn't beaten a single team that qualified for this whole tournament. They hadn't been a single one. The teams that they qualified through, they won 6 matches in a row, were all the teams in the bottom 6. Yeah. So that's just ridiculous how amazing they're playing at the moment.
Difference is unreal.
Losing to every single team that's qualified is pretty impressive, and managing to win every single time apart from against V-Pro is even more impressive. So Yankees range has cost me heading through the middle. Perfect play by EPS. I think this is the best option of attack because of the T32s. The T69 can go hull down. They can make a few shots and they can kind of corner EPS in the right position. But look at the damage that tank does, and look at the reload very quick as well. 478 coming off from Cosme, and if they peak, he's going to receive another 478.
Ruster's position is just death from above. Another shot. Rage doesn't even know where that's coming from now. He's just like, what? How the hell did that just connect? And I think he's now maybe have an idea where Ruster may have positioned himself, but everyone else looks like they're just playing defense for him, leaving Ruster just to do the damage, get it in the bag. Because let's put it in this aspect. If they saw those 3 maps and went, okay, it looks like the way they're playing, EPS want to get onto Sand River or draw them all out and maybe try and pick up a cheeky win on mines. If I was CPlay and I looked at that, I'd go, oh, okay, second map's this. We know this position. Let's put a gun on there that we can do damage from afar on, and everyone else just play defense for him. He can get these shots down. And look how much damage he's already caused there. Raging Potato's low, and that's Cosme.
Two shots.
He's doing a fantastic job with that. Already 533 damage just due to him.
1,070.
And there we go. 1,000 already. 3 minutes on the board. He's basically given them the advantage if they go into Sand River.
Yeah, and you know, if I was going to be a little bit nitpicky, I would say you should probably shoot the same target 3 times and it would be dead. But, you know...
Gun in the game, etc.
Yeah, etc. Yeah, exactly. But, you know, fair enough. 3 is enough. 3 for 3, perfect amount of damage. 1,070. Could have been a little bit more lucky with a couple of rolls, but 533 off. Perfect. I actually didn't think he'll be able to hit them. The trench would be kind of out of their way. It wouldn't be a possible location for him to shoot down because it's, you know, it's got the hill on each side. But because he's so far up, it is a perfect position. Now, Evil Panda Squad, they've pretty much lost an AMX 3090 in terms of HP. That negates the HP advantage they had in the first place, and I'm not sure exactly how they can make it work for them. I don't think they can push, especially not against Ruster.
I absolutely love this. This is brilliant stuff. Kind of saying, well, EPS, you like to play, so we'll do just the same thing. And do remember, guys, 800 more viewers, and there might be another chance for a certain little code to be given out. Make sure you head over towards Twitter and check that one out. I think Melly's been tweeting that one through, or she'll let you know in chat. So do keep your eyes out. Make sure you get on Twitter, put this out to your friends, and maybe anyone who else plays tanks with you and say, hey, look at this new position Russ has just found because it's damn good. And it's near on 1v3'd a good amount of EPS. They must be furious at this as well, because anything they planned to do has just now been ruined. Yeah,
they wanted to win it on either Ruinberg or Steps, and really they can't right now. Ruster's on enough damage. CPlay's position is great. You know, they could go 4 versus 5 and possibly win and take Ruster out of the equation entirely. Also, it's pretty obvious, I think, for Evil Panda Squad, that CPlay now wants to push for Sand River. They 100% won that map. They're just camping every single time. They've got no special tactic, which is, in my opinion, a little bit dangerous for them because the series they have won have been all about their aggressive tactics. They've tried things. They've not relied on that like last chance saloon kind of thing, which some of the other teams have. And Mines being next, it's a map which Evil Panda Squad have warmed up on. They lost miserably to School Bus in the previous matchup, but they could possibly execute perfectly and take down CPlay because Mines, yeah, you can camp on it, you can be passive on it, but also it's quite easy to break, and CPlay could feel that wrath if they do.
Okay, so 58 seconds to keep full HP and do damage, basically, is what CPlay's saying. Keep calm, play this out. And we can kind of start looking towards Mines as well, because that's the next map coming up in this 3. And it's not necessarily an easy one to draw out either, unless maybe you're in the south and you have that initial intent. Do you think they're going to have to go for that? If, let's say, CPlay start in the north, who's going to be the one playing the passive game here? Because EPS surely don't want the draw on that as well, because Sand River won't suit them. Let's say EPS start... I'm trying to explain the way that this is going to go down, because CPlay can play passive if they get the southern spawn. If they get the northern spawn, how will they play it out?
I think they actually have to go aggressive. You really can't camp from the north, I don't think. You have a little bit of cover, but you kind of giving away the fact that the hill is a good place to push. I guess you can camp on the hill and you can stop the other team from pushing forwards, but it's a tricky situation to be in. Anyway, it's going to be a draw. Neither team wants to push forwards. Evil Panda Squad are actually being the aggressive team, strangely enough. But yeah, this series is turning out to be a pretty slow one, actually the slowest of the finals so far.
Who'd have thought it with EPS,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. But I have to say it's much CPlay's doing as well. They wanting to play passive. They want to go to Sand River, which I don't think is a great idea. Honestly, I see EPS just pulling out an upset and beating CPlay on that one. So not a good idea, I don't think, from CPlay.
Yeah, indeed. CPlay playing a dangerous game. They've been doing so well playing the aggressor, being the ones to be responsive, and just being smart overall. If you are wondering what's happening at 10K viewers, make sure you ask Melly in chat. She'll explain it to you. I'm sure she'll like all these questions. Or go onto her Twitter, M3LLY. Or maybe it's just a type 59-ish. But still, CPlay now, the options are, the problems are, is this final map. The danger of it comes into place, that Mines is a map that can have innovation, that can have definitive winners on. And surely they're going to be worried about that, because they've played the game that EPS may have also wanted to an extent, a slower game, a more passive game. and it's hard to beat EPS at their own style, but Sand River does throw the likes of EPS off just in the raw set alone. But have we seen EPS ever really doing well on mines? Is this a map they can do okay on? Is this something they have any strengths on, or is this still just a little bit of a dangerous one for them to depend on?
Well, they didn't look good against Scoreboss on mines. They looked actually really bad. That was their worst map overall. So, yeah, maybe they have some good tactics, but it really does depend on what they're feeling like today and now. It doesn't really matter what they did on the online stage. And on the online stage, you know, mines is their third best map. They haven't lost a single time, but they got absolutely trounced there. And they've used the normal double T32 camping kind of lineup. So they've won because of that often, or drawn it out. So they haven't really played that many games. So I think in general, if I was CPlay, I would use that against them. I would definitely play a little bit more aggressive, and just counter Evil Panda Squad, you know. Having said that, though, you're 2-2 now because it's been 2 draws, a point for a draw for both these two teams. So if you lose this, the other team gets a win. So that's not what CPlay wants at all. So they pretty much really have to go for the draw here and have to move on to Sand River. If they lose, they're out. So maybe being aggressive is not the best idea.
Yeah, so this will have to be an interesting choice now for these guys. CPlay, as you can see, just discussing their final options towards this, kind of having a little chat about things and trying to make sure they're mentally prepared for the game coming up. Same with EPS. They're looking like they want to make sure everything's okay. They look quite calm here. Then again, they haven't really been tested yet. So what are your predictions of the final map? Do you think this could be actually CPlay's map if they go for it, or is it Sand River for you?
I think this can only be Evil Panda Squad's map. This is their last time to basically avoid Sand River and prove that they are a good team. I don't think CPlay is going to go for the win. They might go for the counter and try and win like that, but I don't think they're going to go aggressive. So I think, you know, whatever happens is going to be on Sand River. And to be honest, looking how much CPlay train and what they do, I think they counted on Sand River and they've been doing a lot of practice on that, whereas Evil Panda Squad maybe have a couple of tactics, but I don't see them training and out-training and out-thinking CPlay in this matchup. It just hasn't been proven. They haven't shown it to be a big factor for them. So honestly, if it does go to Sand River, I really do see CPlay winning the third place game and walking away with that bigger check. So that's my prediction, at least.
I kind of feel the same with you. And it's going to be interesting to see finally EPS forced into an aggressive style. We've seen them kind of embracing that before. But we'll have to see if it kind of works out for them this time. So, just the last minute discussions going through of this one. And you can see the guys there having a little chat. Trevor's was actually very vocal in the last game we heard on Cliff, actually. He was one of the people calling out what to do and predicting correctly how Virtus.pro actually played it from start to finish almost. But still, I'm very interested to see how this game comes through. Now, EPS will be forced into making an aggressive and match-winning move. The spawns are going to be vital as well, where CPlay start can define the game just as much as EPS is. So I think if CPlay start in the south, it's going to be a very hard game for EPS to break. But still, CPlay start in the north might keep a little bit of the options open, but it's going to be a hard-fought battle regardless. I'm not sure where my predictions really are going on this. I still want CPlay to win, I feel. I feel they've kind of given us a great display so far. It'd be a shame to see them bow out at this point. But they have switched up their game style in a way that I'm not too fond of. They played very passively on the first map as well. And I'd like maybe a little more from them there. But overall, I think that positioning on the second map was fantastic. We have to wait and see what we have coming up in the third. So Mines will be next. I'm still not sold on Mines. We've seen some great games this weekend and also some very weak games coming out as well. It's a hard map to deal with, and I'm waiting to see what sort of tactics. We saw that nice hill push coming through in the last one. We saw, I'm trying to look back, it was TCM who threw the game against School Bus as well on this with that fantastic break of the South camp. But then just threw the game regardless when they had the camp going. So there's so many factors to this
They actually
map.
lost it for them. If they won that, they would have won it.
Yeah, and it's unreal to think that they just made that mistake.
I was speaking to YZNE, aka Yizny, afterwards, and he was saying, you know, if we were sitting there and we were like, wait a minute, why are we not in the cap? They were just completely... They were just completely scared and they're caught in the headlights, to be honest. But anyway, so this could be the final map. If one of these two brings it and wins it,
it's going to be the end of it for the other team, and they're going to be brought down to 4th place.
Okay.
EPS starting from the north, so clearly this is what CPlay wanted. To be honest, these map picks 100% towards what CPlay want. Every single map has been one which you can easily camp on, which is a bit surprising. I thought EPS would be choosing something else, but like, you know, Himmelsdorf, where they can actually go aggressive. So altogether a surprising pickup. You can already see immediately one of the AMX 5100s hacking towards the left, and really the other tanks just sitting up and towards the middle and towards the cap just to defend for CPlay.
Okay, so this was the danger that we were talking of. If CPlay started in the south, as you mentioned, the complete map pool has worked them to this point. So they've gone, hey guys, let's take them to Sand River because we've done more damage, which came from the second map and the first to an extent. And then we can pick the side we want on the final map. But we can discuss which is better for them, attack or defense, once we get there, if we do, because still, EPS want that victory on this map. Sand River does not suit their playstyle at all. It forces you to make the move either on the defensive side or the attacking one on the assault mode. But even without that in mind, we still have this map to get through if it does get to that point. And right now, EPS are trying to make those shots. You can see Raging Potato laying down some fire early on. Nothing connecting, though, and a very passive CPlay. They're saying, okay, you've played this game style from the start of the league to the end of it. We can do it just as well, and we're going to make this possibly cost you anywhere in the offline finals. 2 losses it would be for EPS if this goes down this way. But CPlay, it's a dangerous game to play. Sometimes you play someone at their own style, the passive style or the aggressive style. They know the slight weaknesses in it just as well as you may assume. So you've got to be careful on that, and I really want to see how EPS can break this. So with the positions of CPlay in mind, where can EPS really form that attack, and what sort of route do they need to take?
I think they would have to come from the village, the eastern village, push up through and just basically attack to Killzone. But the dead zone in that T69 being at the back could be a thorn in their side. But again, it's not really the best tank for that position. I think, you know, an AMX 5100 there would be a little bit more effective. But again, CPlay would probably have enough time to counter any kind of attack and maybe even go for a cap themselves. They have got Nervax and Ruster in those AMX 1390s, so they can go aggressive, they can play the fast game, they can get to the cap very quickly. Maybe EPS is also going to put the AMX 1390 into the G0 area and come back from there. Use the Yankees and whatever they have left, push up towards the Killzone, engage, make sure the dead zone doesn't get too much of a trouble. And then they can just push on from there. But Dr. Toy has to go down. He'll spot them early. Chavez will have the cross. A lot of kind of things they have to deal with before they can make this move.
So a lot of pieces put into position from CPlay. Roster is keeping eyes on. Lucas, Nurse, Cosme and Ponsfed are on that Lighthouse Island. So they could get some fire in, but Roster's got a nice little bit of cover there. Nervax also supporting just behind in the 1390. So, as you said, a lot of pieces in position here, all with their own individual crossfires, all waiting as a kind of crumple point within the CPlay defense. So if it does come down towards that, they can withstand, they can hold on. And this could be a 6-minute wait for them, basically. That's what they're looking for here. We know that CPlay can do aggressive counter pushes as well. That's not beyond their reach, and I think that may be a nice fallback plan for them if they need it. They have pulled that out before. They can do that themselves. It's been something we've seen in their prior games where we felt that the other team was more aggressive and CPlay did play a passive game, but they have been able to make those counter moves very proficiently. And now we're going to have to see if EPS can find that route in that we were discussing. But at the moment, looks like Nuvoltro might be going for a walkabout himself. Try and maybe get into a Ruster position if he can. Maybe wait on a little bit of a boost up. We are seeing a one-man rotate off the Lighthouse Island. I'm not sure if it's the 1390. I think it might be pushing back now as Cosme falls back as well. So we'll see who's going to be joining. I think Lucas was actually on that island as well, so it might be actually a rotate of him. So they might be going for that boost position. Last time it didn't work out very well for TCM. They actually managed to fail that about 3 times and then just ignored it. And do you think this will help anything? Is this something they want to do, really? Is it an option?
Well, it's basically what you have to do on this map if you want to push. You have to get an AMX 1390 up there so you can split the attention of the other team, and then you send the other tanks up towards the eastern area. So I think it is a necessary evil, or an evil Panda squad, and it's the start of something. They wait until about the 6-minute mark to initiate it, and they can move on. Let's see if they can actually do this boost up, because most teams fail miserably at it, and as does the evil Panda squad.
Strike one.
Strike one was to see if they can beat TCM's record of 3.
I just want to see if they try it again. Last time it was like TCM went for like 3, no, it was 2 tries. They did this whole like, no, screw it, we're just going to turn around and go the other way. We
actually lost in that game.
It did. They couldn't get into it.
It was ridiculous, yeah.
And, maybe going to try it again. A longer run up this time might help.
He needs to get to the top speed of the MX-39, which is like 60 kilometers.
See if they can do it. Numolcho up front, Luke's behind. 4 minutes on the board. He's getting there. He's certainly looking like he's almost ready to get up. Oh, it's Numolcho. It's gone terribly.
Track repair, drive on.
Yeah, it was really bad. He could have. They were so close. It was probably like less than a few centimeters. But it's such a hard boost to make. You have to get everything right at the end of the day. You can do it with 2 tanks. Usually, if you're on 100%, you do it with 3. To be honest,
I think they might be. Do you think that's where Cosme's going, or you think they're just going to say screw this?
We have to do it. Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do.
Oh, bless them! It's gone very badly here. This is not a great show for EPS. They've had a terrible day so far. Let's be very honest. Like, if I still feel, as you mentioned, if they had the first day to prepare and kind of get used to it, or they probably would have done a little better here. But at the moment, they're really not showing us all the goods. But at the moment, Numolcho doesn't really take a shell. It looks like they're just going to go for a rush.
They're just going to go in. I mean, first shell does come through. As you said, you know, Yankees comes off the hill. He can push up. Dr. Tor goes down, but CPlay, they knew this was going to happen. They have tanks in the right position. I'm going to be looking at the dead zone to see what he can do to counter this. But Evil Panda Squad, their main weakness has been that they got themselves into a good position to push, and they just stopped. See if they do this time.
Well, let's see what they can do. 3 minutes now to make this play. We saw, as you mentioned, TCM pulling something very similar to this and then failed parlously. However, it looks like EPS have left 1 tier 1 back by the Lighthouse Island, and so far the push is doing okay for EPS. They haven't taken too much damage. They've removed the 2 tier 1s from CPlay, so there's no real escape, excluding maybe Ruster. Let's see if EPS can pull this off. This would absolutely destroy CPlay if this does come into effect, but they can't blame anyone but themselves. Now, Eclipse will be the first one to peak, and we are seeing Rust actually adapting around. He could come around behind them here.
Dead Zone is actually screwed up completely. He peaked and he got shot. Now, Evil Panda Squad probably have a good idea that he's there, but this is so unnecessary. He has to wait until EPS actually pushes before he makes his move. And now DeKills is in a little bit of trouble, but Evil Panda Squad receiving a lot of damage, but it's a bit 1-for-1. Look how much damage is going towards them.
This is terrible. Ruster from afar is just laying down the fire constantly. Hacky and Nervax doing the same, and there's no commitment, no decisive push until finally Lucas and co turn around and take down Ruster. Gun in the game theory means it's still in EPS's hands, but that HP is low, and Yankees is probably down to a one-shot Neron for a couple of tanks in the mix. There we go, DeKills will deliver, and now it's down to that 4v4 real meat of the battle as Lucas takes one on the way down, and we do see Hacky getting a little bit of damage back. He's got to be careful. Numolcho is getting warmed up, and that is a dangerous thing, and a good couple of shells come into place. Nervax needs to get in the action because Numolcho's just taken down his teammate, and now let's see if he can finally close this one down. 3v4, very low players on the EPS side. They're down to nothing, and Numolcho just killed him, so he went off a ridge.
No, he got killed by Nervax, but the kills of the Deads are going to come around from behind.
Oh my god, this could be all done. CPlay could win it here. They don't even need Sand River at this rate. And here we go. Polswed is on the run. As Cosme is alive, but by nothing. He has to try and buy time. He's not done that. He's taken down, and now it's down to Polsved. If he stays alive, he can take this one through to the next map.
But it's such a small map, only 600 meters, 800 meters even. This could be enough time for CPlay to do this. It will probably take about 30 seconds for him to be in position, and he's got 54 seconds in total. Polsved has to hide for his life.
Can Polsved save EPS, or will CPlay claim it here? Oh, this is dangerous play.
Ooh, they haven't gone the right way.
Play,
Nervax, the fastest tank, has gone onto the hill. What is he doing?
If they throw this, they've literally got the victory in hand right now. They just need to take down the tier 1. Otherwise, it's a draw. Polsved might just save EPS still. 30 seconds on the board. They are hunting him down. It looks like the Dead Zone is the only one closest to this, and I'm not sure if he's going to find him. Dead Zone, where are you? Surely the T69 will check this. He's going in the right direction.
He's going to do it.
He might do this.
I think he's going to do it.
Will he check? Will he check behind that rock?
Polsved isn't Magus.
Will he? Is it Magus plate? I think the Dead Zone knows it. 10 seconds. Will he land the shot? Yes, he will. CPlay claim the victory, and EPS mess it up.
Unbelievable.
Completely and utterly.
Nervax even went the wrong way. I thought it was game over by that time. He went right, but then I didn't think the T69 would be quick enough. But what I didn't take into account is the fact that the T69 was going downhill, so he actually had a pretty high top speed. He could take him out very quickly. He had about 10 seconds left, which is an eon of time. Evil Panda Squad didn't even pick up a single map in this whole finals, and they qualified in second. They had everything going for them. CPlay, the new team to the season, 3rd place. A massive congratulations goes out to them. And of course, we're expecting big things in the future.
Yeah, no pressure now, guys. You got to keep that up next season.
Season 5 winners.
Indeed, who knows? They gave a hearty performance from start to finish in this tournament. I don't think anyone
They're
can
my
take
highlights. It doesn't matter who wins between Virtus Pro and School Bus. For me, this tournament's all about is CPlay. They are showing everyone else in the World of Tanks sphere in every competitive game that if you got passion, you got enthusiasm, doesn't matter how many times you lose, you can be that perfect underdog story.
They've proven it. So well done to CPlay. CPlay there on your screens, the guys in the red shirts. You need to now recount your votes, let's just say, and we got the 10K. Good job, guys. I like that. But still, CPlay, what a moment for them. I think they can go back truly chuffed with what they've achieved. Coming through in that 5th position, pretty much second to last place to qualify towards the offline finals. They did it. They struggle against every other team in the online stages, as you pointed out. They didn't beat one of them coming into this tournament. And then they get to the offline finals and they prove that anyone can have their day.
Exactly. I mean, Evil Panda Squad, great online, as you said.
Yep.
But the thing is, the online season suited them down to the ground. With this rule set, with 1+1, they couldn't do it.
Nope.
When you can pick the maps like this, the draws get you 1 point. They just couldn't have what it takes to go through. So, honestly, you know, Evil Panda Squad need to go to the drawing board. I do think it's something to do with the fact that they're also an inexperienced team. Obviously, inexperiences count for a lot, but then it can't be an excuse because, of course, CPlay are just as inexperienced and pretty much the same age. So, you know, really to prove that, you know, being young is not a bad thing.
No, not at all. You come in hungry, you want to actually really get that win, you can do it. And they didn't exactly have an easy route. Let's bear in mind here for CPlay, they've knocked out TCM, who are arguably one of the more veteran sides in this. They played at one of the most, prestigious tournaments prior to this. Kazna again. They took on Elian, one of the probably the highest voted MVPs of the tournament till this point, took them out as well. Kazna would probably tip to be top 3 in this, I'd argue. Maybe top 2 if they had the correct performance. They took them down. And now they've dropped out EPS, who qualified 2nd. They took out 3 of the heavy hitters here, coming in as underdogs. That's unbelievable for a team that no one predicted to do this well. That's something they can truly be remembered for. And congratulations to CPlay. That is absolutely unbelievable. I'm so glad they did this well. I called out Ruster during the online tournament so much, saying that he's such a good player. De Kilzer as well. A lot of their team are very talented, but it's good to see it all kind of gelling together, which is such an important factor for any team to make sure it all comes together in these moments, and it did. So guys, let's hear from them live on the stage with Mitch. CPlay, congratulations.
Yeah, I'm standing here with an obviously elated Ruster after that series of games. We thought it was going to go to Sand River. We thought it was going to be sort of quite a long one. Were you guys aiming for Sand River initially?
Yeah, we were definitely aiming for Sandra because we have really good strategies both in attacking and defending. For example, we would have had 40-32 strategy for that one as well. And we were really certain. We were just playing for damage, We had the damage, even if we had drawed mines, there were no damage done. We would have been able to decide the side for Sand River. And we are really certain we would have won that one.
Now, was that why you took the Waffenträger on steps? Like, can you explain to us what the decision-making was behind that?
Well, it is kind of funny, actually. Just in training, the Kilzer told me, hey, can you push up there? Is this possible? And we said, yeah, just let's try it out. It was first with a 90, because we had a normal setup in a normal training. We just came by it on random, And then we thought, which tank is the best for this position? And I thought it's the RHM, because of with the small, we obviously played with the small gun. And it's just the best sniper in tier 8s. And I did 3 shots there. That was, yeah.
And that was the damage, of course. And you took the smaller gun, so you had the ability to sort of blind fire a bit and just try and get that damage away. And I don't even know if they could spot you from where you were shooting them. I think it was about 500 meters, I think. So, it's fairly far away. Look, you guys, 3rd place. You've got to be happy with that one, surely. After the game, I know you would have liked to have gone a little bit further, against Virtus Pro. But I just want to give you a chance to, just to say anything you'd like to say to your fans or the viewers at home or anything like that.
Yeah, I just want to thank all the guys for supporting us. Also, I want to thank our sponsor, CPlay, for providing us with those awesome jerseys here. I really love them, and also for the hardware and everything they did for us on their online and offline part of the season.
Well, thank you so much, Russell, for the last time. Absolute pleasure. 3rd place going over to CPlay, what a fantastic performance, really turning that last one around. But for all the nuts and bolts and all the little tidbits of information that we may have missed, we pass over to our expert, Storsion.
Thank you very much, Mitch. Now, actually, I need this one explained to me. I was watching this and I didn't quite understand why they were going for Sam River. I felt that they could definitely have done it. He just explained a little bit there, but Sissel, talk to me about this. You actually predicted the first two maps would be a draw, and you actually expected action on mines. Take me through the process.
I expected CPlay to be offensive on mines, actually, because they were so good on it. The first two maps are not favorites for CPlay, so they wanted definitely to draw that against EPS, because they didn't show the skill of being aggressive. So
maybe it was more of an account that they wanted to get to Sam River. As he said, like, he has some great stats. I wanted to do it. So this was their last chance to play. So they're like, okay, I just want to see you, Sam River. I just want to do it. And that's why they chose it.
Yeah, that's what he said. I think Wilkie has something to say for that.
Yeah, so Wilkie.
Yeah, after the first match, Ruinberg, when I saw the lineup, I just said to Schnitzel that they want to go to the Sand River. I was pretty sure what they are going to do there. We trained with them before the finals. We trained the tactic with T34, four T32s and one MX-1390s. And well, Ruster said there they would have used that tactic that they trained against us. So after it was pretty good in the training. So I think that was their ace in the sleeve.
And they really wanted to play it. They didn't want to go this whole tournament without playing it, but they didn't do it. Carmen, take us through Ruinberg. So, what happened there?
For me, Ruinberg was just, like Ruster said, let's camp and find out if you will be attacked or not. Both teams wanted, to play safe and then, make a damage and make a difference for the next maps. Steps, like you said, also a choose for it. But Ruinberg went really well for the guys, but still they couldn't win it because of the time. End of the story. Just the damage, like they do on Russian leagues and also in other leagues.
Yeah, Snissel, you actually watched Ruinberg with a lot of analysing. So what happened there?
Actually, I think EPS wanted to win that badly because they took the 51390s from the south to get the village. But CPlay said, okay, let's give them the village. They cannot attack us close combat anyway when we reloaded in 1500. So they went back and they had to come with the 1390s right next to them, and they didn't have a chance then.
Yeah, we're actually seeing it in the replay right now as they come up and denied. Such a light setup, they cannot really get into such a knife fight. And that's exactly what CPlay made them do.
Exactly, and the HP advantage was just too big to make something happen with this strategy.
And that is it. That's the end of, well, basically what happened to Ruinberg. After that failed, that was no more left. Then we go to Steps. So take us through Steps. They obviously brought a unique tank that's not often seen.
Yeah, they picked the TR8 Rheinmetall Bershik TD with the small gun, and they had a really nice position for it in the west side hill, southwest hill. And yeah, that pretty much told them that, okay, for everyone, they want to go to the Sand River for real. Only playing defensive, using the EPS tactics against him. So I think that kind of messed up the EPS's heads for the mines too.
Well, we were talking before the match that we were like, oh, well, at least I was. CPlay, they're really aggressive. They're going to do the attacks. They're going to make the plays. And I guess EPS was also expecting that. But they're like, okay, we're not going to play your game. We're going to do exactly what you do. We're going to avoid you and then take you out on Sand River because we know how to play this map. We're ready for it and we're going to do it. So that's exactly it. So looking here on Steps,
some of the shots were really amazing from Rust. Really, guys probably didn't know even what they hit, what hit them, and this is really important.
Yeah, that's a really good position from him, but it also basically means that it was actually, well, that was a great shot against Raging Potato there. He did not know where that came from. At that moment there, you knew that EPS knew they could not attack and they had to back off, and that's the end of that. So that does leave us with, oh wait, you have something to say?
Yeah, exactly, I wanted to agree, because the Borsig was stopping the attack alone. Like, one other tank spotted them, and Borsig had such a great position to force them all back to their base hiding. That's what he did.
Also, the lineup of the Evil Panda squad wasn't, that good to attack. It was, the lineup was better for defense than attack. It was too slow.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what we're talking about. CPlay knew that they're going to be very defensive, and they want to play defensive. And so instead of risking it, they want to go to Sam River. I think that's the stress.
That's why I think that as an offline team, they develop very much on this tournament in just 4 matches. They knew what Evil Panda doesn't feel well after watching the match versus School Bus. They knew that they are angry. They knew that they don't play well on aggression. Why don't give them the attack? It's like when you play versus Mourinho or somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
If you play a lot of teams doing this also in football, give the ball to guys and they don't know how to play it because they're always defending. So it's really hard for them to attack. We find this in the World of Tanks.
So then let's go to Mines, because Mines is where the action actually happened. EPS desperately did not want to go to Sam River. And then they were like, okay, Mines is our last chance to prevent Sam River. Let's actually attack. So who wants to go through the attack on Mines?
They had a good idea to attack from the upper side, but after they failed with pushing up the 3090 up there to reinforce the attack with a better angle, they just put all their tanks there underneath their base and wanted to brute force that through.
Yeah, exactly. The push-up, exactly what TCM did, and they attempted it 3 times.
Yeah, the reaction on the studio was really rude from the guys, and they did the same mistake yesterday, so we cannot say it was really that good. Also, this is the moment when the crowd was really laughing because this was the loss of the HP on multi-show just from, dropping down the way. So it will be more complicated to CPlay to win the game if multi was alive.
Well, this is actually the replay of the final fight, not the strategy we're talking about, but we can see here where it actually went wrong in the end for Evil Panda. They lost too much HP, they got surrounded, they didn't dedicate themselves.
And they missed 10 seconds. They missed only 10 seconds at the end. And this position when Polsvet went was almost, almost sure that he will be there after, If there will be only 2 tanks, they will have much more complicated way to do it.
Yeah. There we go. Here's what we were talking
Press
about.
1.
This is the TCM strategy
and
they tried.
We see the mistake. They were not, connected to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So it was too slow. If you must start, the first one is starting, and then you are starting to push the second. The first tank is starting. The second tank is first one who is pushing.
But they did not give up
the same up
at all. They try again and again. They even call over the T6. I think Wilkie pointed out, like, wait a minute, they're repositioning the T69 to give it yet another attempt. So here we are, they going again. New Moldy Show trying to get there.
Yeah, again we have a laugh in the studio.
And they're not getting the timing right at all.
And they're separated together. Yeah. They're not together.
I don't know if it's Coca-Cola or something which guy was using and second guy wasn't using, because it's the difference on on getting speed. The tanks have the same perks, the tanks have almost have the same crew, so the difference was probably only Coca-Cola or
coffee.
Coffee or the ventilation.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Small little details like that can be the difference between success and failure. But let's talk about the approach to the final attack. Now, EPS realized that wasn't going to work. They couldn't actually do it. It's something that TCM also failed to do. So they were frustrated. And what went wrong with the actual assault? I believe you made comment during it that they were attacking differently or separated.
Yeah, completely separated. I don't know why they, decided to leave the ES3. They were afraid of the T69, but still, were only 4 shells from T69, 1 shell from ES3, and the ES3 is dead. I don't know why they wanted to so bad to attack and to cap also with the T1. If they were, that much, they give up that much opportunity to attack, why not bring the second T1?
It's interesting that they, as you said, they don't want to go to Sam River, but they didn't commit fully. When we saw CPlay going against Virtus Pro, they committed 110%. Yeah. Everything went in there at the same time. There was we don't want the draw, we want the win. Draws isn't good enough for us. So they really, really, really wanted that win. But Pandas were like, no, we don't really care. It's we want to attack, but we want to have a reserve plan of going to Sam River.
Last thing is the frustration.
Yeah,
the frustration after the steps. This Borsig, the fail on the first map, the Borsig, Wilkie as a captain knows how to deal with it.
Yeah, but and even after the fail, pushing the 90 up to the hill, the frustration that comes from that, because it was new multi-show that was trying to get up there.
And he's the captain.
He's the captain, yeah. And but that was the plan A. But even if they would have gotten new multi-show up there was Hacky with 5100 aiming that location all the time when they started pushing to their pace. So even if the new multi-show would have been up there, I don't think the push would have worked.
It does seem like CPlay they knew what they were doing. They knew they wanted to go to Sam River. It didn't actually happen. We'll go through actually now our predictions, because I actually was convinced they would go to Sam River. You see here, I did CPlay 4, Pandas 3. So I really thought that it was going to be going to Sam River. But I believe everyone else, oh no, Wilkie said EPS won CPlay because you thought they'd be more aggressive on the second map. And we see here that Wilkie has his 3-1 prediction there. And both, Schnitzel, I think this is your first actual prediction, correct? Isn't it, sir?
Yes.
It's your actual first prediction. And also we have you, Carmen, getting it right again.
Traitor.
So
No.
it's very close with our rankings. If I tally up the final scores here before the finals, Carmen's first point of the day, a full
Sorry,
one.
but guys, but I couldn't say that I will be voting for Panda after I saw the frustration in eyes of Multi. Multi was like, you know, mad, really mad guy, and also with that young team that cannot, you know, work over Multi. If they had like the player like Arclit to tell him, you know, to just be quiet and stay down, calm down, you know, and he have to respect like Diver is in the Virtus Pro all the time.
Yeah,
They maybe it went a different way because they also could camp at 3 maps. We can see Sand River, and Sand River you can go in, you know, everybody difference. They decided to attack. I don't know what went wrong.
Right, so anyway, that is the end of EPS's journey. It was a very short and concise one. They are 4th place. CPlay manages to get 3rd. So now it is time, before the final match of the season, to find out who the MVP, powered by Razer, of the season is. And that is the lovely Melee to tell you.
Thank you very much, Luke. And yes, I'm standing right next to the MVP powered by Razer. It's new multi-show. Congratulations, buddy. How do you feel? The community clearly voted for you with 36%.
I'm really glad that I am here, and it's amazing to be chosen by you. I'm sad that we cannot go for 3rd place, but I'm still proud about my players. They are young and they have to learn a lot. I made a few mistakes, but still, I'm really happy that I'm here.
So we will definitely see you next time around, I guess.
I hope.
Okay, cool. So, as said, as the MVP powered by Razer, let me just quickly reach over to your award. You get this little nice trophy. And of course, the Razer bundle is yours. Congratulations. And thank you, people at home, for voting in our vote. And yes, we, as said, you also, well, 5 of you also won a nice Razer gear packet containing a Wall of Tanks Razer Death Adder, the Goliathos, a t-shirt, a lead pack, and not the keyboard. This is only for you, but still, I think you can look forward to it. We will announce the winners of those 5 bundles, of course, later, or maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure when, but you will definitely get your prizes. And of course, as promised, 50 more bonus codes amongst all participants in this vote. And yes, New Multi Show, it's really sad, as you said, that you couldn't make it through the 3rd place, but I think it's a great team consolation, and we will see more from you in the future, I guess. That's not as good. So thank you very much. People, before heading into the grand finals, I would like to remind you to vote for your favorite team on facebook.com/WGLEU. And of course, hand in your predictions for this matchup. And remember, it's a best of 7, so don't vote. Don't predict the best of 5 results here. And amongst all participants in this, in all correct predictions, that's what I was trying to say, we will give out 10 bonus codes this time. So head over to the app, join us, get in the race for the bonus codes. And buddy, congratulations again. Thank you very much. And well, Mitch is waiting, so we won't let him wait.
Thank you very much, Melly. And of course, congratulations to New Multi Show. Very, very well deserved. There's a real reason why he was selected by you guys. Thank you for participating as well. And thank you for voting and being a part of all the social media buzz. We are just around the corner from our final confrontation, of course, our grand final match. It is, as Melly said, it's going to be a best of 7. Virtus Pro and School Bus. Can School Bus topple the Giants? Can they turn around Virtus Pro's flawless season here at the on the final stage? That is the question. We're looking for the answer, and we'll be getting it after a short break. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. This is the game you must see.